So this is a 50s gold top Les Paul worth tens of thousands of pounds, but it isn't. It's actually a brand new guitar made to look old for the price. These guitars completely outstrip their competition, which is like 2 or 3 times the price. So today we're going to delve into the Trident 56 by Regent 7 Guitars, handmade here in the UK, one at a time. This is absolutely crazy, so let's get into it. So a few weeks back, we got a DM on Instagram from David at Regent 7 Guitars. Now, in all honesty, I hadn't heard of David's company, but you know, that's no shock because it's a very, very small artisan style handmade guitar company. Now, I'm normally quite dismissive about relics because there's so many out there nowadays and there's a lot of sandpaper jobs out there, but these guitars were very much different because they looked like they were in a different league of their own. So after a few messages backwards and forwards, David very kindly agreed to make us a custom made one-of-one guitar with our specs. But I didn't even need to go down that route of having a custom guitar made because I saw this gold top on Instagram and I was like, that's a dream guitar for me. I couldn't have described any better what I would have wanted from a handmade Les Paul style guitar. So the fact this was ready made and ready to go, I just said to David, is there any chance we can grab this one? And yeah, he was very kind and said, yes, let's do it. So I actually jumped on a call with David to discuss how he makes these and the kind of attention to detail that goes into each and every single one of these guitars. This has a true nitro finish without the plasticizers in that, modern day nitro still has in, I believe, which actually allows for real checking. So if you look at the checking on the whole of the guitar, it looks like that of an old guitar, even to the extent that it goes into the binding. That's something that is missed on a lot of the rivals of this nowadays. The inlays are dirty and the plastic is aged in a way that doesn't look contrived. Now, alongside the really high quality parts inside, such as Lux Bumblebee caps and the CTS pots, it's all about the pickups on this guitar for me. It really is just like the juiciest sound. Now, as well as making the guitars, David hand winds each pickup, but for that particular guitar. Has Regent 7 been crafty here? Because these pickups, you can't buy them. If you want these pickups, you literally have to go and buy a Regent 7 guitar. That is a bit sneaky, but it's, he can do what he wants. But I mean, these pickups, probably the best P90s I've ever heard in my life, and you can't get them. You have to just go and buy a whole guitar. So let us know what you think in the comments. Is that sneaky or is that just, part of the deal? I want to play you a little clip now of the neck pickup, just so you can hear that really juicy and squeaky honk that you can only get normally with a 50s guitar. So let's go. Now the bridge pickup literally screams. It honks and it cuts through anything you want. So let's listen to that now. Now, one of the main things that struck me about this guitar in particular is if you pick softly, you get a super clean, nice tone. Whereas if you dig in, it starts to scream, and it's almost like having an overdrive pedal on tap just by picking softly or hard, and you've got all that dynamic range simply with your pick. Now, one thing that stood out for me as well is that David specifically said to me that the playability, feel and resonance plus the weight has to be absolutely perfect so that you get the placebo effect of playing an old guitar. You don't want to feel like you've just had a guitar that's been sandpapered down. You want to look at the guitar and think, I'm playing an old guitar. And I think he's completely smashed it, because I look at this guitar and I'm like, damn, I can feel and see the stories even though they're not there. But yeah, that suggests a deliberate focus on making sure the guitar feels and plays well, as opposed to just trying to get the sound and look right. There's literally no part of it that feels new to me. Even the screws are aged. This has actually got a one-piece mahogany body, but it's also crafted from a single piece of mahogany on the neck, and it's got a nice big 59 feel. I don't know what you guys prefer, but there's like that 59 sort of big baseball bat kind of feel. Then there's a slimmer 60s style, but I much prefer the bigger one if I've got a choice. Now, I actually said to David, what's gonna happen? How are you gonna keep up with demand if these take off like I think they will? And he said, you know, he's limited to the amount that he can make in a year. So a bit like some of the extremely sought after amp companies, those guys only make say like 25, 30 amps a year, and you have to just hope that you can get on the waiting list. I think this company is gonna be that very soon. One of those guys that is completely, you know, pride driven when it comes to each and every single little detail. So yeah, it's a fascinating way to do it. It's like going back in time almost. You know, those little guys sat in a shop creating hand making shoes or something like that. It's just crazy. So I'm gonna play like a minor blues style jam now, and I just really got inspired to do this kind of track with this guitar. You know, this kind of track's good for those groaning bends and those juicy tones. Halfway through the track, I'm gonna click on our pedal pawn Fuzz, but I'm gonna be using the germanium version. We actually have a few of these limited edition pedals left. We actually managed to get hold of some more CV7003 transistors a while back, and they're selling for like £50 per transistor on the used market right now. So we're putting 2 of them in our pedal, and the pedal's only like, you know, just over £200. So it's definitely a bargain if you want to grab one, and it's got that sweet tone which I think will complement this guitar. So we're going to click that on halfway through. Definitely check out Regent 7 Guitars on Instagram. I think these are going to be, you know, very unobtainable at some point in the future, because this price, how much was this? This was like £3,350. I mean, you could pay 3 times or 2 or 3 times that for a Murphy Lab, and you're not going to get that same attention to detail nowadays. But yeah, a huge thanks to Regent 7 for sending this Trident 56 gold top. Beautiful guitar, literally crazy. So this is going to be going in our new studio that we're building, and we're going to be using this as one of the staples of our, you know, guitar setups going forward. So let us know what you think to it in the comments. Literally mind blown. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll catch you in a bit, and cheers.